Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're taking a look at some incredibly fun battles in the Retro Cup featuring a Pokemon that got access to 2 new charge moves in the Season 17 balance update, and that is level 50 Delibird. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, Dr. Stalemate, so many thanks for the battle submission. Delibird is an Ice and Flying type Pokemon, and it now has access to Fly and Triple Axle. At level 50, it only gets the 1237 CP, so getting wins with it is going to be a very impressive task. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches, and let's check out Delibird in the Retro Cup. Hopping to the first match, picking up a bit of a tricky lead, Credilli into Dewgong. Both Pokemon hitting each other for super effective damage, but Dewgong, being the Icy Wind user with those guaranteed attack debuffs, the more shields that are used in this matchup, the better it is for the Dewgong. Dewgong shields the first move. Credilli is going to match shields and save switch into Oranguru. Opponent staying in here, going for the Icy Wind as soon as they get it, but that causes an entire confusion to go through for free. Oranguru, its attack is now debuffed, but thanks to its new move of Trailblaze, it can reset that attack debuff immediately with Trailblaze. Oranguru's attack is back to normal, and this is a pretty good matchup versus Lickitung. Oranguru, of course, did come into this matchup with a pretty big health disadvantage, but the Licks being single resisted due to Oranguru's very cool typing means that the opponent is going to have a terrible time if they try and farm down. Oh no, it looks like they're trying to farm down and Oranguru refuses to get KO'd, making it to the foul play. Opponent, if they want to save the energy, has to use a Protect Shield. Oranguru trying to make it to a move. Opponent is going to give up switch and send in Dewgong, but Dewgong not going to be able to make it to an Icy Wind before the Rock Slide from Credilli will secure the knockout. Down goes Dewgong. What does the opponent have in the back? It's Pelipper. Pelipper going to fire off the Weather Ball, but this is not going to be enough to KO. Very nice matchup knowledge here, understanding that Weather Ball, while it will get the Credilli low, will not be enough to KO. And now, the moment we've been waiting for, in comes XL Delibird. Delibird farming up energy, going to fire off the Fly. It did get the new move Triple Axle as well, but it does sim slightly better with access to Icy Wind. Delibird is going to be shielding up as Lickitung has so much stored energy. Body Slam number 1 shielded. They're going for Body Slam number 2. Let's see the damage. That does so much damage to the Delibird, and the opponent concedes the match. A tough lead awaits in the next match, leading Credilli into Toxicroak. Immediate save switch into Oranguru. Look at the confusion damage, absolutely tearing that Toxicroak to shreds. Opponent sends in Water Gun Lantern, but now they're going to have to deal with super effective damage from Trailblaze. Trailblaze connects. The Oranguru is now boosted. This Lantern is going to be firing off the Surf, and Surf, not really a problem for Oranguru. Oranguru looking for the farm down and gets it, able to exit with a massive amount of energy to threaten whatever the opponent decides to send in. They send in a Dewgong. Dewgong will be hit with the foul play. Foul play is shielded. Oranguru is going to get KO'd by the Ice Shard. Back in comes Credilli. Credilli at a small energy disadvantage, but Credilli does have the shield advantage. We'll have to watch for a switch from the opponent. The opponent does not go for the catch, and the Rock Slide will be fired at the Dewgong. This is one stage debuff, but the Dewgong is still going to commit a shield, making it to the Rock Slide and winning the CMP tie. Now this is going to hurt the Dewgong. Getting the Dewgong below half health, and now gonna let it go, trusting in Delibird to win this game. In comes Delibird. Delibird farming up to the Fly. This Delibird is only 1200 CP. Will Fly be enough to KO? It barely does not. Oh no. The Dewgong living on 1 HP, making it to the Icy Wind. Back in comes the Toxicroak. Toxicroak going to need to make it to 2 charge moves here to KO the Delibird. They bait with the Mud Bomb. Delibird makes it to the Fly, and it's game over for the opponent. Delibird's attack may be debuffed, but it's not gonna matter. Down goes the Toxicroak, and Delibird takes the win. We see same leads again in the next match, Credilli into Toxicroak. Again, a terrible lead. The save switch into Oranguru. Opponent is going to respond with Talonflame. And considering there's the Ice Flyer Delibird in the back, definitely nice to see the Fire type here. Opponent is going to shield up the foul play. Oranguru farming up and no shielding, calling that it's only the Flame Charge. Opponent does go for the Flame Charge. Can Oranguru make it to the foul play? Yes, it can. Is this going to be enough to KO? Does the opponent want a double shield? They let it go, and Oranguru takes switch. In comes the Toxicroak. Toxicroak now going to be aligned against Delibird. Delibird trying to go for the Icy Wind, but losing the CMP tie to the Toxicroak. Toxicroak is going to full send the Sludge Bomb, so that is a massive shield. Baiting with the Icy Wind, trying to get the shield, and does. This is now going to mean that the counters do less. Opponent firing off more energy. The Delibird is low enough that even a Mud Bomb would be threatening. The Mud Bomb is shielded. Opponent does not switch, and it's time for Delibird to fly. Fly gets the KO onto the Toxicroak. In the back, it's a Drifblim, and Drifblim will be met with the Rock Slide from Cradily. No shields remaining for the opponent, so this will hit for massive super effective damage, and no one move from Drifblim will be enough to secure them the game here. They go for the Shadow Ball. Cradily able to absorb that damage and make it to Rock Slide number 2, and that will secure the victory for the Delibird team. We've got an opponent bringing some spice in the next match, leading Cradily into Shadow Gengar. Shadow Gengar is extremely frail, but if it can stay on the field, it outputs a massive amount of damage. Cradily is going to fire off the Rock Slide. Gengar basically has to shield every move that is thrown at it, and we see a catch onto the Oranguru. Gengar goes for the resisted Shadow Ball. That does so much damage. Opponent now going to send in Shadow Dragonair. Shadow Dragonair looking for the farm down, but not before Oranguru makes it to the foul play. Foul play will connect. Dragonair does get the farm down. In comes Cradily. Cradily looking to shield an Aqua Tail and potentially go for a farm down here. Opponent goes for Frustration. Oh no, they're stuck with Frustration on the Dragonair. In comes the Gengar. Gengar will be met with the Grass Knot. Honestly, Rock Slide or Grass Knot, either one should be KOing here. Cradily farming up, able to make it to the Rock Slide, and this should be getting rid of the Gengar. Gengar does get KO'd. In the back, it's a Latias of all things, so the opponent bringing some serious spice to the game, running Shadow Gengar Double Dragon. This could get tough. Delibird running out of HP and does not make it to the Icy Wind. So the Dragon Breath's in the end game, proving too much for Delibird to handle. And that's game over. Moving to the next match, picking up a slightly negative lead, Cradily into Vigoroth. Cradily is going to save switch into Oranguru, and this is going to set up a battle of neutral damage. Opponent firing off neutral body slams, and Oranguru hitting back for neutral as well. Body slam will connect. Opponent tries to go for the CMP tie, but Oranguru gets an entire confusion for free. Oranguru now going for the Trailblaze, looking to boost up its damage. Trailblaze shielded by the Vigoroth. Vigoroth farming up, and we see Oranguru making it to the foul play. Foul play will be lethal. Opponent is going to have to commit the shield if they want to preserve the Vigoroth. They choose to let it go, and they're going to send in a Hex Alolan Marowak. Marowak going to be firing off the Bone Club here. Bone Club, no shielded by the Oranguru, and in comes Cradily. Cradily, of course, has access to super effective Rock Slide, and Alolan Marowak, not going to be a fan. Rock Slide will be shielded. Marowak continuing to farm. Any move that's thrown here, Cradily will be able to tank. Opponent goes for the Bone Club. That's not going to be a problem for Cradily. Cradily firing off another Rock Slide. Will this be enough to KO the Marowak? Marowak barely able to hang on, and we see a switch into the Delibird. Opponent went for the Shadow Ball. That nearly one-shots the Delibird. Delibird can barely make it to a charge move, and Fly is going to secure the knockout onto the Alolan Marowak. In the back, the opponent has Quagsire, so Cradily will be able to sweep in the endgame. Quagsire is going to be firing off the Aqua Tail. That just does nothing to Cradily. This Grass Knot is double super effective damage. Poor Quagsire, it never stood a chance. And that's game over. Hopping into the next match, leading Cradily into Kanto Muck. Not the greatest matchup ever for Cradily, but at the very least, Muck does have to farm all the way up to a Dark Pulse if it wants to hit for neutral. This is not enough for a Dark Pulse, so this is going to be a no shield by the Cradily, and the opponent is running Acid Spray on the Muck, and we see a simultaneous save switch, Oranguru into Cherrim. Again, first couple days of the season, we're going to see some interesting picks, especially in the Retro Cup. I'll be honest, I haven't actually played any battles in the Retro Cup. I've been really enjoying my time in the Open Great League, so this is kind of my first look, and we're seeing some interesting stuff. Oranguru opting to go for the Trailblaze. This is resisted, but looking to buff up its attack, and unfortunately, the opponent is able to make it to another move. Weather Ball will be shielded. Opponent sends in the Muck, but Muck taking massive super effective damage from the boosted Confusions. firing off the foul play. Muck is going to commit the shield, and Muck takes so much damage. In comes Credilli, and if all they have to throw here is Acid Spray, this is a very comfortable no shield. It is going to be another Acid Spray, and it is a charge move priority tie. We're going to see the Rock Slide thrown at the Muck. What do they have in the back? They have Galvantula, and it's incredibly nice of them to switch there, because Galvantula will get absolutely shredded by a Rock Slide. Lunge will do a lot of damage, but from here, it's all up to Delibird to try and sweep. In comes the Delibird. Look how much damage one Volt Switch did there. Oh my goodness. But Delibird is able to make it to a Fly, and Fly will secure the knockout onto Kanto Muck. Hopping into the next match, seeing an amazing lead, Credilli into Quagsire. Opponent staying in this matchup, so they've got to be completely core broken somewhere in the back to stay in with Quagsire against a grass type. They're staying in, so may as well fire off the Grass Knot and start grabbing the shields from the opponent. Grass Knot will be shielded up. Quagsire continuing to farm, and again, this is a very comfortable no shield for the Credilli. The opponent, my guess is maybe they have some fire types in the back that don't want to take Rock Slide, but even so, the fire types would probably at least be able to do slightly better than the Quagsire. We're actually going to see a switch out into the Oranguru, saving the Credilli, understanding that Credilli has to be valuable versus something they have in the back. Opponent staying in with the Quagsire. They throw on alignment, and that's an entire confusion for free to Oranguru. Aquatail is going to be no shielded, and now we see they have Noctowl in the back. Noctowl is massively far behind in terms of energy. Oranguru goes for foul play number 2, and I did not see a wing attack sneak through there. That means the opponent played to the CMP tie that they do not win. Everything going wrong for the opponent in this game. In comes the Credilli. Credilli trying to make it to the Rock Slide, and does, but loses CMP to the Noctowl. Do you just save 2 shields for the Delibird? No. Going to commit a shield on the Credilli. And now Delibird, we've seen how glassy it is. It's only going to have 1 shield. In the back, it's Jellicent. And Jellicent, of course, can hit for massive damage with Shadow Ball. We're going to see a no shield by the Delibird, calling the Surf, and it's actually a Bubble Beam. Opponent running Bubble Beam on the Jellicent, but even so, just off fast moves there, we actually see the screenshot as the Fly lands. That does not do much of anything. Those Bubble Beams looking super effective for the amount of damage they are doing. Oh my goodness, Delibird. It's doing its best, I'll give it that. Fly will connect. They get the farm down, and unfortunately, Credilli gets denied. It does not get its fast move through, but either way, the opponent is going to be able to take this game. They were triple weak to Credilli, but by double shielding the lead, and then having Bubble Beam on Jellicent in the endgame, the opponent is able to take it. Moving to the next match, picking up a great lead Credilli into Kanto Raichu. Kanto Raichu is one of the Pokemon that you typically only see during the first couple days of the season, and then as people continue to rank up, you don't really see it just due to the fact that it doesn't really have any competitive viability. It just really lacks in terms of stats, and unfortunately in terms of a coverage move as well. Opponent is going to save switch into Lurantis, and Lurantis will be met with the Rock Slide. Rock Slide will do quite a lot of damage. Lurantis not the tankiest Pokemon around, and we see a switch into the Delibird as the opponent fires off their energy. That's the superpower. That does so much damage to the Delibird. Delibird makes it to the Fly. This is super effective damage. Will it one-shot? Yes, it will. Goodbye, Lurantis. In the back, they have Conkeldurr, and Conkeldurr will not appreciate these confusions from the Oranguru. Brutal Swing will hit for super effective damage here. So Brutal Swing does quite a lot to the Oranguru. Opponent sends in the Raichu, and they're able to fire off a charge move before Oranguru can connect with a foul play. It's the Wild Charge, which means they have absolutely no defense now, so this foul play will easily knock out. All that's left in the back is the Conkeldurr, and Conkeldurr is going to succumb to confusion damage. All this Oranguru has to do is shield once, and the confusion registers. Hopping to the final match, leading Credilli into Greedent. Greedent with Mudshot and Crunch can do an okay job of keeping up, but this opponent is choosing to run Tackle instead. Tackle definitely not going to go well when going up against Credilli, which has the Rock subtyping. Opponent just opting to go for the Body Slam here. Body Slam, again, not going to cut it going up against the Rock type. Credilli continuing to farm. Credilli now going for the much harder hitting Grass Knot. Grass Knot not going to KO here, but it will get them low. Grass Knot connects. We see a save switch into the Oranguru, and the opponent is going to fire off a last last second charge move with the Greedent. Greedent is going to succumb to the fast move pressure from the Oranguru. Opponent, what are they going to send in here? They send in Lantern, and again, it's really, really nice to see this here because Delibird has absolutely nothing for Lantern. Trailblaze will connect, continuing to boost up the attack of the Oranguru. Oranguru is going to no shield as the Surf connects. Can the opponent get the farm down here? No, Oranguru able to hang on and make it to the foul play. Foul play will be grabbing a shield from the opponent as they want to preserve some energy. The Lantern gets the farm down. In comes Credilli. The Surf would not KO, but it would get Credilli low, so we will see the shield used. Credilli potentially looking for a farm down here of the Lantern and gets the full farm down. That is absolutely massive. In the back, the opponent has Piloswine. So Credilli should be able to close out this game here. Rock Slide will get the shield. In comes the Delibird. Delibird firing off the fly. And at this point, I mean, you can make it to a Grass Knot with the Credilli, so the game is done. The fly does quite a lot of damage, though, so you could just let this Avalanche go. Opponent going for a Bulldoze, not understanding that even though Delibird is on the ground, Delibird has the flying subtyping. That is double resisted. Delibird makes it to fly number 2, and one way or another, that game is a win. All in all, level 50 Delibird looks to be a very fun Pokemon. At only 1200 CP, it's definitely not a Pokemon that's recommended for climbing, even with the new moves of Fly and Triple Axle. Although typically for Delibird, you are going to want to run Icy Wind, because Delibird is so frail that any help you can get with debuffing the opponent's attack to let you stay on the field longer is definitely appreciated. And as for Delibird, even if it gets a dramatically better fast move, I mean, present is pretty bad as is, it would probably still struggle just due to its stat product. But man, being able to get any wins with this Pokemon at all is quite the accomplishment. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is sincerely appreciated. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.